Everyone, we're going to start. Good evening. Good evening. As you can see, we have a beautiful guest with us this evening, and it is none other than Miss Kalyani Patnaik. I'm just going to give you a little bit of an intro, okay, that I've written now. Her CV, if we went through, we'll be sitting here all evening. So I've just picked out some things that I just want to highlight. Hi, everyone. Good evening. And so Miss Kalyani has been in the field of education for more than 30 years, way older than some of you, all right? So she's currently the principal of the HFS school for the past 12 years. And I just want to, when I went through her CV, here are some words that describe who she is, okay? And what she pursues to do on a daily basis. She's always trying to continually improving. She's fostering a safe environment for learning. She's championing potential involvement. She's dedicated. She's highly motivated. And you will see that through this session. She's dynamic, no doubt about it. 100 points for that. Skillful, obviously. She's spearheading and continuing to spearhead different programs. To wrap it all up, she's basically a visionary, okay? And when I asked her to kind of describe herself in one sentence, she said she's a principal who loves a good challenge, all right? So, Ms. Patnaik, we're so happy that you're here. We need more movers and shakers like you in the field of education. We're so happy that you're here today talking about new trends in online learning and effective learning tools for students while they are in lockdown. So welcome, over to you.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Sangeeta. You have been so kind with all your words about me. I don't know whether I deserve all this, but all that I can tell you, I'm so passionate about education. That has been my forte, and I have been trying to do the best I could for the students of the community. So I thank you. I thank Univariety also, who have been doing a fantastic job in taking care of my children. And it was so heartening to see you connecting with all of them. It seemed as though you knew each one and you had a period with them while the online session was going on. Well, this is called very effective teaching learning process. Now, coming to the topic that we thought we would be discussing and chatting in whatever time you've given me, I'll try my level best in conveying what I feel. And because I belong to a generation where we never had so much of technology. So when we started having in school smart boards and, we uploaded, contents, I thought, my God, this was the ultimate, and we are one of those very, very modern schools who need to be in the top 10 in the country. And but that's not all, because we have fallen into a situation, and this calls for a very great challenge. It came all of a sudden, you see, this COVID situation, and this pandemic has really led to a lot of chaos and a lot of doubts in every mind, because some schools had already completed their academic session and they were well ahead in starting the new one, while some of us, we were waiting for the exams to start. What do? We thought the lockdown, then comes the orders, and it was just overnight, and the pandemic just comes in and spreads so swiftly that everything happens in a jiffy. Now, technology in education is something that had to come to our savior. But not many of us were adept in it. So what do? Children were smarter than us. And I know children are lovely and they know, I tell you, they're so cooperative, so supportive. I'll come to them later on, because I must say their role has been also very tremendous. But we have all been very successful. It is not only pan-India. I mean, it is all over the world. This pandemic has hit so many that if I have to tell you a little data, according to the UNESCO, 16th April 2020, they have come out with a survey, and they said that about 119 countries had to shut down schools, and it had impacted about 154 crores, and out of them 32 crores are from India. These learners. So you can imagine, we can't just shut shop and say that that's it, and there's no teaching learning process, and just be happy with whatever WhatsApp you have or whatever is there, because India is not only Mumbai, it's not Delhi, it's in Calcutta. India has the rural sector. India has so many children, billions of children who love to go to school and be able to fit. However, this has to be kept pulsating, it has to be kept throbbing. So what did we do? We decided to have online classes. Now, not all of us were very savvy, technologically savvy. And this pandemic brought about something known as infodemic. Our whole meals would be filled with a lot of learning apps, do this, do that. People would call up, what are you doing? What are we doing? And one thing was sure, in this dark cloud, there was one silver lining that yes, online classes will happen. And children were, very, very clear, very happy that online is something that they knew, they would take it very easily. But how do the learners have taken it, but how do the teachers relate? So that became another part, another issue. But thankfully, we've not had much problem, because we started learning, just like how it becomes contagious. The whole thing became very, very contagious. Yeah. We started learning overnight, one another, and we started, following directions, downloading apps, and then we got all our systems in place. Families became very cooperative, and there, bingo, we go on with our online teaching. Now, when you go to online teaching, now you can't just, be very rampant and just have it, because it's very strenuous. Remember, Sangeeta, it's not like how you do it in the class. It's very strenuous, because you have to prepare your lesson. And also, you must understand that it only means lessons and interaction. So there were so many things, that what are the tools to be used, what techniques can be used, and what you think can make it very, very effective. So then we...
Sorry, Miss Kalyani, can you speak a little bit louder?
Yeah, I will. And now can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, but I'm hoping the kids, about 3-4 of them, wrote and saying they can't. So
they can't hear me. Okay,
just a little bit.
So
I don't want them to miss a word. That's
that's lovely. So then the problem came. Then the situation, I wouldn't call it a problem. The situation was that how do we structure ourselves? Because you need to structure ourselves. You can't have the same timetable like you had, because the timetables had a lot of miscellaneous activities as well. And we were not prepared for those miscellaneous activities to be fitted into the entire curriculum. So what we decided is, first, let's have the academics going, because the academics is something that we need to take care of it. And once we get comfortable in that zone, then you bring in everything. So there were only two, what I would like to say, the most two methodology that one should actually adopt to make this whole teaching learning process online effective is, we've got to have a collaboration platform to support this live video conferencing. Because this collaboration platform is something that is required, because wherever you are, whichever part of the world you are, whichever, at home, wherever you are, you need to have a specific time where you can collaborate, because once this communication starts off, the lesson imparting starts off, then it becomes very, very easy for both ways to continue. Now, this is one of the tool I found was effective, and all schools all over the world are using. Either it could be the Google Chats, it could be the WhatsApp for sending messages, it could be through Skype. And today we are so blessed. We have almost, all kinds of technological know-how. And you won't be surprised that even in a lesser, affordable places also, people have started putting, their routers, and they said that we can even do it. And then we also, support them. We say, okay, don't worry, you can buy something. We will give you something. Then there are Ding Talks. And then, of course, the question of Zoom came. It became so popular. And then, of course, with the Zoom came a lot of these controls that should not be used. But then there are a lot of security. We learned that you have to secure yourself. Because in this world, nothing is secure. You have to, whether it's Facebook, it's not secure. Whether it is WhatsApp, it's not secure. Because at the click of a mouse, one must remember, you are heard, you are analyzed, and you are recorded. So I think one becomes more careful. So this collaboration platform is one methodology, one very important technique, and this is working and catching like fire, and effectiveness also has been very, very great, because we have found that we have been able to complete our portion, and we are also now looking at, and we are waiting for directions from our board as how to, I'll come to that part as to the effectiveness, but it has been very good. The next,
sorry, when you say collaboration, you mean between students and
yes,
teachers?
and between student, teacher, and a platform that is required.
And the platform that's used. Okay.
Yes. Because see, it is this platform that is very necessary. And this is the technology that has become a big boom. It has come actually to our rescue. I would say this is our savior now, that we are able to, it is the savior. You may be combating COVID, but then we could combat our technological challenges as well, and our educational challenges. And then the next is the children are also so very sharp that they have the self-directed learning content also.
Yes.
So you don't have to, actually listen to classes all the while. You maybe, see, when you are in school, you can say, I can be absent. Okay, but when you have these classes, now you can't say I'm going to be absent, but you can revisit them.
Yes.
You can always revisit because they are recorded. And then you have these self-directed learning technologies and contents. You can go through Discovery Eye, like our board has also had various channels, that is meant to impart certain lessons. And that reminded me, long ago, Doordarshan used to have channels. And I used to think they were for, distant learners, and they were actually meant for people who want to do tutorials. But I don't think that is how we have to view it any longer. Because there's a paradigm shift. We are into an educational, technical revolution. There is a revolution, and it is bound to stay with us. It's not the COVID. COVID goes, but the post-COVID is going to be a very different lifestyle, and I'm all excited to look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Then we have many of our schools. The third system is a very indigenous school matrix system. Most of the schools, even I'm told even the BMC schools and all, where we send all our communication system. Through them, we have uploaded a lot of worksheets for children. Now the children have said that we don't have a printer, so how do we print them? I said, you don't have to print. Keep a record, make a folder, put it on your monitor. When school reopens, we'll check. So we have that comfort zone that was given to students to be so flexible that I think in an atmosphere of flexibility, comfort, the education happens better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sangeeta, don't you want to get back to come back and become a student again in school?
Absolutely. I wish
my class.
Yes. 100%. Yeah. I so wish at least a week if I could spend back in school. It would be amazing.
Yes.
Because like you said, I mean, even just 21st century skills like being flexible and adaptable. Suddenly overnight, students have had to learn how to be flexible and adaptable.
And they do it beautifully, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I've not had anybody, because see what happens when they're in class and there is some mischief monger, because children are children, you see. You tell them, you please go get out of the class. But here is no question of getting out of the class. The technology takes care. You just block. It just takes care. And then everything is recorded. There's nothing as, okay, now you have to do this. So I think systems, things are being put in place.
Yes.
And we are able to continue and do well. But of course, a lot more has to be done, because we need to upgrade ourselves all the time. We need to understand what is the new kind of technology that is in place. And for that, teachers work very hard. They have decided to record some of their beautiful lessons. And probably if there has been a Khan Academy, we'll have so many academies. Absolutely. There's going to be a boom. We are going to have a boom, not a Zoom boom. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So heartening to note that if we are able to combat this, we are able to bring in everything so successfully, then there's so much more that we can do with the students. Because what I used to think, online classes, I'm sure you would also think that way, was only, we thought it was only for the corporate sector, believe me. I thought it was only for people who were stockbrokers checking, their sex and their investments. We educationists are so far away from money. We think more about, how to impart. Probably we talk a little more, but I think it's meaningful, it's impactful. We need to do it. And we are dealing with Gen Alpha, and you'll be wondering what is this whole thing about Gen Alpha and Gen X and all that. But I did a little bit of research, and I found that present day kids are those kids, who are born after a certain year. And they have a lot of learning devices they take to, and they probably find that more effective than probably just because that's why we are called more of facilitators now.
Right, absolutely.
It's not, gone are the days, it's not that I sit and I lecture and you better listen to me whether you like it or not. It's a lot of learning we do. Lot of learning. Like that is exactly why when I went for a workshop in Singapore, I was, told by a professor there who was, giving a lovely workshop that you teach less, learn more in the classroom. Don't keep teaching. Start learning. Let both of you start learning. And then the syllabus, the curriculum transaction takes place more effectively. So the Gen Alpha is going to tell us that technology is not a tool or a technique that needs to solve our problems or accomplish our tasks. It is here to stay. It is a very deeply integrated part of everybody's life.
Yeah. It's a way of life now, right?
You can't do without it.
Yeah.
We may have to start thinking about what kind of technology to be brought into class. And if children are made responsible, which they are, and they are guided accordingly. Now you see your guidance and counseling also about. Now you don't have to be physically present there.
Yes.
Beautifully, you'll conduct all these tests for them. You'll give them their results, their analysis, and children are able to find their North Star, I say,
Yes.
direction. The direction.
I love that. Find their North Star. Yeah.
How to go and where to go and be successful.
There are quite a bit of teachers, educators who are here on right now. Would you like to take some questions, or you want to go through?
I would love to take some questions.
Yeah. So there's a lot of teachers from Ryan International. So welcome from Ryan International, Ghaziabad. So thank you. Laika is asking, in this situation of lockdown due to COVID-19, how have you measured the effectiveness of online working teaching?
Okay. Now, we never had results because we were told that you just promote everybody. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, is result the only effectiveness? No. It's not that piece of paper that says, oh, how effective you have been and you promoted everybody. We had proper classes. And for an example, let me tell you about our DP programs. You see,
yes.
We had deadlines, and certain projects, certain internal assessments, for all the boards had to be uploaded. Yes. And children were far more disciplined, and they stuck to the deadlines because they knew that technology. We cannot play with technology. We have to do it faster. They understood their responsibility. And I think we have gone faster than what actually is the deadline.
Wow. Yes. Yeah, because the normal tendency for internal assessments is for IAs, you're running after them saying, here's the deadline. Yes. But now, because we leave it to them saying you don't have a choice.
You have a portal, you have to upload it, otherwise it's going to be a problem. And they have
a sense of responsibility that we're giving them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So this is one. And then coming to the other classes also, we've also begun our portion for the next year. And a lesson each of the new portion for the lower classes has already begun. That is one. Yes. And they are doing it and they're all ready. And then we are looking out, of course, now there will be solutions and apps where they will help us also to conduct this online evaluation, because I'm sure the government is also working very hard. They have such great think tanks who are going to help us out, isn't it? That's so I'm a very optimistic person, very hopeful. And
it's such a great way to look at this lockdown, to be positive. And right from when you started, that's all you've been trying to imbibe in these educators and students, that just be positive, because there's so much of valuable learning and experiences that both educators and students can have, So, Arnish, I hope Ms. Kalyani's answered your question too. Ms. Vidhi wants to know, how will malpractices like cheating, etc., be managed if the exams are held online?
Well, I think they have a very secure system. It's not going to be difficult because such questions also will not be asked. It's like saying if you have an open book examination, you should have actually studied it to know what the answer is. Okay, and let me tell you, if I have somebody who's sitting for a physics exam and expects that I'm going to tell the answers, you won't get it.
You're wrong. Yeah.
It's a conscience. You will yourself develop that conscience. I don't think there will be malpractices, but technology also catches malpractice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, ICT and all. We've had, not in our school, but we've had cases where they've been able to send you messages saying that there have been malpractices in ICT.
Yeah, and things like GRE and TOEFL, some of these assessments, English, they all assess by proctor U. So they are proctored very, very carefully to make sure that people are not able to.
Absolutely right.
There are different things like that they put into place. Soumya made a comment saying attendance and performance have improved in this new technological advancement.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's very, very true. Do you want to share some ideas? You want to give what students can do while they're at home? What do you think they should be doing in order to use their time effectively? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, they can do it, and they're doing lovely cooking. I get videos where they said they've made lovely cupcakes, and then they can start honing all their talents. They can, in fact, start singing. This is the best time we can all become singers. We try out on our gadget and say, "Oh, can I sing? Let me hear it." We never got that time because we were always on the road or in the classroom.
Yes.
So let's make use of it. Like I tried the other day, I said, I'm going to, I know I'm not, I may be old by years, but very young at heart.
At heart.
And then I said, I'm going to sing. So I sang and I felt my voice was good, and I had one or somebody saying that, why don't you record it and you're going to.
Yes, you must share it with us. We would love to hear you sing.
No, I am very bad with words.
No. Komal wants to know which tools we can use for better use of online classes. So I'm guessing Komal is a teacher. Mm-hmm. So what tools can we use for online classes?
And which platform? Does she mean the platform?
Yeah.
There is, to be safer, schools that can afford, they have to get themselves aligned to Google Suite classrooms and Google Chats. I think that would be very good because that has unlimited timing. And Zoom also works well, and then you have it. See, these platforms are all good. And as far as techniques are concerned, of course, you can just be like how it can be a virtual classroom. You can make use of all the material that you have, and you can do. And there are a lot of ebooks also.
Ebooks, all right.
And a lot of resources that keep coming to us, both paid and free resources.
Okay, excellent. Ria wants to know, ma'am, what is the best way to take notes during online lectures when we don't have books?
Oh, I don't know. Somebody I saw the other day a video where, they had a tablet and they were writing down and it was coming. I don't know. I think tell her the day is not too far when this gadget will also come.
Absolutely.
You'll be able to write your notes. But I think the pointers are there because everything is recorded. You don't have to you don't have to worry about the notes. You can always revisit your class. That is a good part of technology.
Yes.
See, when you are in a class, of course, the teacher is spending that much of energy, but then she also, for children who are weak or children who have been absent, you again, do the lesson. But in technology, when everything is recorded, you don't. The teacher doesn't have to teach. You just revisit by taking that.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And then at a later time, you can probably write your own notes the way that you want to. Yeah. I'm just going to take this question. I think Manya is asking it to me. So according to you, is platform like Univariety, she's called it UN Academy, is suitable for the preparation of competitive exams? So we do have, Manya, some competitive prep, exam prep that is available on our platform, but just the big exams like JEE and NEET and maybe a little bit of SAT. So those are the kind of exams that you will be able to find sample papers on our platform. Okay. how will we balance, Jagruti is asking, how will we balance the offline and online classes? Like once, I guess, school is back to normal. I guess that's
when we get back to the campus, right?
Yeah.
So they probably, I think he wants to know that whether this online is going to be moving simultaneously, right? Does he mean that?
I think that's what he's just said. I just hope things get back to normal soon. And how do we balance between online? I think online classes are going to continue. That's
It's the order of the day. You cannot avoid it. It's the order of the day, because it may not be only COVID. It could be tsunamis. It could be floods. It could be so many things. It could be traveling, and these will continue. But of course, nothing like being back to the campus.
Yes,
the joy of hearing the school bell, the joy of sharing your tiffin. I think that's a different kind of joy, and being with the children actually is something very different, which we educators always look forward to, because I love to have all of them, telling me something or the other.
Right.
We are there. But then, however, I feel that nothing is impossible, and we have to take it the way it comes. And we are actually lucky that we have all these platforms and technology to help us out.
Right.
Just imagine everything would have been a standstill. There would have been a lockdown. But education is one sector that is moving.
Absolutely.
If you come to think of it, people are working, of course, in their offices and all. But tell me, which everybody is able to have their classes on time. Every exam is, whatever evaluation. Yes, during they miss out on the other things like debates and all. But I'm sure there will be a way for that also.
But if you just look in the recent 1-2 months, the amount of webinars that universities have brought out, right, on their different programs, which students would probably never get exposed to. There are free online courses, like Harvard's giving 67 free online courses that students can do. I mean, this is the time that students can really develop some of those skills, I believe. So you were talking about cooking. What else do you think students can do? What other ideas, or what have your students been doing in order
music in a way, orchestra. Children, playing drums, and they put up, on, of course, I'm not so much of a social media person. I don't go on Facebook and all, but then there are students who have put up very beautiful things, and they are making, and there are some who are doing social service as well.
Wow, really?
Yes, they're doing crowdfunding, and they're trying to help, making masks, some of them. I'm not talking about our institute, but there's somebody else I know in Delhi who's doing it. So I think this is the time when children have their creative juices flowing.
Yes.
And this is when they can make use of it. And the parents are so supportive. They also are helping, they also help them how to do it.
Do you have any tips for parents? Parents right now, do you have any tips for them of how they can?
At first, I thank the parents for giving us these children, and secondly, I know it's very difficult for them also, because they have to balance household chores as well as. But then the parents are doing it beautifully, because the children are learning also the household chores. They've got to do it. They've got to help them. Aren't we all doing it? So the parents are also structured. For the little ones, yes, it's a little more tiresome. You've got to sit with the little ones, but the older ones become more responsible. I think children become more responsible when they start being with the parents, and parents are able to have a very nice bonding time.
Yes, absolutely. There are a couple of questions with regards to exams that are going to come up in the near future. So people like Kushi want to know, how will exams be held? And then Ria wants to know, will exams be conducted in objective or subjective manner? What do you think? How do you foresee it?
I feel both can be done. Because, when we proctored for a particular exam, they did have these essay type of questions, both subjective and MCQs. Okay? MCQs, they go very fast, these objective questions. But even the long subjective and long essay answers are also possible.
Is also okay.
Maybe we won't require stationery now the way we needed it.
Exactly.
That's another cost cutting that will happen. Always look at things. What is it that you are saving? A lot of things.
Yeah. Absolutely. Kushi wants to know how will exams be held. So that's what we've just been talking about, Kushi. It's going to be both ways. It could be physical exams, but now we see like JEE just came out saying they're going to have their exams end of, I think, July. They haven't said whether it's going to be online or not, but we're just going to have to wait and see. But it's definitely going to be a blended kind of exam that you're going to do. So Gushan, I'm just going to read out what he's written, okay, Ms. Patnaik, and then you make what you want of it. I think he's talking about note-taking skills. So he said, I think it should be taken, and tablets in foreign countries, they're mostly the notes are taken on tablet and laptop. So I'm completely with the support of light taking notes on technological devices. Is that right? So basically, I think he's asking, is it okay to take notes on the technology that you're using?
Yeah, but then that's absolutely fine. And I think they are doing it also. But it all depends on what situation you're in. Probably if you're in a classroom, the notes are actually given to the children. And we update a lot of worksheets and a lot of notes. The content is already given. Yes,
absolutely. I'm just going to make this announcement, Ms. Patnaik. So for those of you who are thinking of what you want to do, like Ms. Patnaik has already shared some ideas of what you can do over the summer. We also have the virtual internship program that we've been talking about. I don't know, ma'am, if you've heard about it, but we've had over 2,500 students who've done this. And we had a couple of weeks ago, we had a flash sale. We're going to do one, a fire sale. We're going to do one again on Saturday. So there's a link on top of the chat box. You can just click on it. You can do 10 online internships, 10, not 1 or 2. You can do 10 online internships. Yeah, and it's only like 3,999. It was 20,000. It's 3,999. You get a certificate. You also get a report for each of those careers that you do, whether you have the skills. And I think that's amazing for students.
Very good. Excellent.
Yeah, to find out what skills they have. Is this what I'm interested in? So it's very simulated environment. The industry experts were talking to you. So please, parents, if you're listening, educators, if you're interested, students, just go ahead and fill that form out. It's on top. You'll see it on the sticky note. And I'll just say it before we finish also. Nikita, it's right on top. Okay, ma'am, link. Everyone says it's on top of the sticky note. It's on the sticky note. Okay, but I have to say this again and again and again. Arunish, you're asking me about the UPSC exam. So that's very different from this very interesting conversation.
We can hear it,
Yeah. So we will deal with that. I will acknowledge that when I come on the next time, but not today. Okay, I don't want to waste Ms. Patnaik's time. Ms. Kanchan is asking, do we have online courses for teachers? Do you know of any?
I keep getting a lot about these online classes. Yes, if we do, we'll inform them, because I have a system that whatever comes to me, I quickly share it with all my teachers.
But in general, if they're not part of your school, is there any suggestions that you have that any online courses that teachers can do?
Not as yet, I haven't, but they can do a lot of online courses. Like if they want to do some creative English courses, they want to do something in art, I'm sure if they check out, they're bound to.
Absolutely. And I think, Ms. Kanchan, will really depend on what you want to do the course in, because there's so much out there. So even if you write to me at a later point and tell me what, I can do some research for you and then get back to you and let you know what you can do. Yeah. Yashika says, good evening, ma'am. Yashika here. According to the experience I had while conducting virtual classes, I felt that students were more active, alert, interested and independent. So in future, are there chances of 20% virtual and 80% classroom teaching as an experiment? What do you think?
I think we don't have to experiment. We have already experimented. And we will see how it happens. Sometimes you may have to forego your classes for certain reasons, and probably permission can be sought for online classes at that time. Absolutely. The children will be in school, and you can't be absent and say, I can conduct my class from home. That probably may not happen, but then it could be a Saturday where we found that we had some kind of a freaky holiday. And yeah, say, okay, we work on Saturday, don't come to school. I can give them that bonus. I said, okay, now we cut down on a holiday, but let's work from home this Saturday. We become so trained now.
Yeah.
I started thinking, ahead. So I said, okay, why do I call them on Saturdays? Saturdays we can do online.
Yeah.
Right? That's lovely.
Yeah. Ardhavan is asking, is it good as a student to have a LinkedIn account earlier on?
How is it going to help him? What is it Ardhavan is looking out for?
Yeah.
LinkedIn is for profile building for jobs.
Yes.
It is profile building for sharing. So what will he put in that LinkedIn? It's rather that he has his own social media and a Facebook and then build in a little profile. I would suggest that LinkedIn comes in only after your university, degree is achieved.
I agree. I think, Ardhavan, it's more for when you're looking for a job. Of course, it's got fantastic articles and everything, but maybe wait till you get to your bachelor's degree when you're looking for like summer internships and things, then maybe you can get a LinkedIn account. It's really good for that, because then you start to network, you start to connect. But right now, there's so many courses that you can do as a student. You don't need to go onto LinkedIn for that. There's so many that are catering just to students. Don't you agree with me? I mean, isn't that right?
I mean, they're already, their hands are full.
Yeah, exactly.
But you like the way they are bubbling with enthusiasm. And that is something, that is really making them move.
Absolutely. Yashika says Saturday off. Haha. Thank you, ma'am. She said.
Oh, no, that's to be seen. But
she's thinking about it. Okay.
Yeah, Yashika must be my teacher.
She's going to bring you this recorded webinar and show it to you that you said it here. But I think that's fantastic.
We all know.
Ria wants to know what will be post-COVID lifestyle in the educational field.
Post-COVID lifestyle, we're going to come very prepared now to face any onslaught. Now we know that when we are in class, we can even afford to have some extra activities and follow 1 or 2 lessons which we can complete even through our online classes. So it's going to be good. I think we'll be more prepared and we'll be able to cover our portion well. And I think we'll be able to balance it even better now.
And that's what we've been talking to students also, when they're applying to college, especially grade 10 level students, use this time. You don't want to be in this place anymore. You need to be prepared more. And, what do you need to do now to get into a good college? So start working on it now. So I think everyone, educators or principals or directors, whatever, it's like, we need to see, be prepared for the worst situation, because this has been such a big learning experience. I think
it's a great learning experience. In fact, I would say not only for students, but for teachers, educators, managers, administrators. So everybody has been put to test. And it is not only this country, it's all over. And we are doing pretty much a similar thing. I don't think any country has gone ahead of us or we are lagging behind. Because we have some students we connect with in Netherlands, we connect with relatives in US, and they're all doing the same thing, pretty much the same thing.
Yes, absolutely.
It's so nice. You feel so good that the world is actually shrinking and becoming one just because of technology.
Yeah, and I'm just amazed at, I don't know, I just feel like how little we need. And we can be satisfied with that.
Yes.
You have a laptop or whatever it is, and you have enough tools and you're continuing to learn every day. So it's really been a reality check for some of us, I think. So Ria, I'm gonna read this question, Ms. Patnaik. You can take it if you want to. She says, "Ma'am, the network connection in some areas creates problem. What can be done to resolve this issue?" What do you think?
It's an area issue, and we can't be giving them the network. And I'm also of the opinion, somebody asked me that not all places have networking. So how do you feel that online classes? So that doesn't mean we should avoid it. If we make it more throbbing, there will be a solution to the problem. But running away from the problem will never give you a solution. So the solution will come automatically.
And I think, Ria, like Ms. Patnaik said, a lot of your classes or whatever it might be are recorded. So go back to it at a time when you feel like your network is better. I'm sure there are certain times of the day that it's good, like early morning when hardly anyone's using it. Maybe access your classes during that time, because the beauty of it is that everything is recorded. There are some comments that I would like to read, if that's okay with you, Ms. Patnaik.
Fine.
Mr. Anand is saying, "Hi, ma'am. I would like to know would there be a certain change in the academic where they would introduce more details on pandemic, kind of a know-how and the required actions to it?
In the curriculum? No, not in the curriculum so soon.
Yes,
we will be apprising students. We will be taking care of students. The post-COVID situation in schools is going to be different because a lot of time will be invested in seeing that there is a lot of security. Children will be made aware. And already, I think, come prepared, we have to facilitate it and see that it happens.
Absolutely. Jagruti says, true ma'am, online classes has given us flexible schedule and environment, lower costs, making every one of us self-disciplined. How lovely.
Yes, discipline has gone up. Let me tell you, they have all been visiting, and then there are systems, like I told you, in the class, if they are some mischief mongers, we've got to tell them to be just out of the class. There is no question of being out of the class. You're out yourself.
Adavan wants to know, so he's on LinkedIn, he said, and he did courses, so he's happy with that, but he said thank you. But he also said, how would you advise us students to structure our days during the quarantine time? I think that's a valid question.
Very nice question. You have to structure your day because it is your day. All right. And then you've got to wake up in the morning. You've got to discipline yourself. It is here that a lot of self-discipline will come. And you can spend all your hours after having helped your parents, because you've got to do that as a shram. I will call it, you never had SUPW, so you're going to do your SUPW at
right.
Some useful, productive work. And then get back to your teaching. And you must also have recreation time. That's very important. You must listen to your favorite music. I also do it amidst a lot of work. I'm also back to back in meetings. But I never fail to listen to 15 minutes of music, yoga. Yeah. And you've got to do a little, whatever you like, you have to do it. It could be, something as, okay, I just want to cook. I just want to press clothes. It could be anything that would make you feel happy.
Yes.
Now we are living in a world which is not meant that this work is yours and that is my work. Right? So I'm sure.
Which is a nice segue into the next question. It says, how do you think as a student and a teacher, we should balance our screen time in front of laptop doing classes and assignments?
You see, when we have classes screen time, we don't give the complete, as far as teaching is concerned, you are given limited teaching hours.
Yes.
But then what happens is we unnecessarily get onto the screen time by doing too many research. It is, because we are very inquisitive, we are inquirers, right? Absolutely. So that is where you have to set a balance. You should just say, shut shop now. I know this much. This is stopped. I will look into it tomorrow.
That's a great idea. Yeah, absolutely.
We're all inquirers. We'd all love to go back and know who's Sunita George. Isn't it?
There are some...
That's good, but then, you've got to balance it.
Yeah, absolutely. Pooja says, we've come out of our comfort zone and learning a lot. I love all these positive things. I think we should just make like a repository of all these positive experiences people are having during this time. Jaya says, as the author, Yuval Noah Harari has averred many a times while addressing the 21st century skills that certain professional fields or career options will become dated. Which career choices do you see as up and coming?
You see, there's no specific. I know Yuval Harari, I've been reading his Homo Deus and Homo Sapiens, and he talks about the future skills. And the future skills are going to be net communication. There's going to be a lot to do with communication and on-ground job. I think it's so nice to say that I'm a farmer. There's nothing wrong.
Absolutely.
Because I remember when I was going to Switzerland, I was on the train and I met a very posh gentleman. I mean, he knew Hindi very well. That's how, because when we go abroad, we feel very happy we speak in Hindi.
Yeah, I know.
So when we said we have to get off the next station, that was the wrong station. So he said, no, not the next station, aapko dusra station mein utarna. So I said, how do you know? Then I asked him, what are you doing? You get very curious.
Yeah.
When you come to new land, you want to learn. So he said, I'm a farmer. And he's a PhD.
Wow.
So I said, the PhD and a farmer, that is the new world. That is going to be the future. So those are the skills.
We really need to take away some of those preconceived notions we have about, only certain types of careers are
Nothing is upper echelons.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody has got something.
And if you look at what the employers want now, Ms. Jaya, just for you, they do care about how much you've studied, but they're looking at the kind of skills or the experiences that you've had and the skills that you've learned through that. So things like teamwork and communication are very, very integral that a student has. So more than, the kind of choices that because we never know what is it's the skills that we try and instill in students right now, I think, and there are the basic problem solving and, critical thinking. All of those is what students should be kind of putting into practice right now. Okay, I know I've only got like 2-3 minutes with you, but I'm just making sure that I ask you everything. Just everyone's complimenting you on all your valuable advice, Ms. Patnaik, and just saying thank you and well said, and all of that, and just giving ideas for other people. Do you want to leave any words of wisdom for educators, students, and for parents? What would you like to leave?
For parents, I would like to tell them you're doing a wonderful job, and your support to the school framework has been tremendous, because you're keeping the children so safe and secure, and you're seeing that the curriculum transaction is happening. To the teachers, you have upgraded yourself well in the field of technology, a lot more, and I'm sure you're looking forward to it. And for the students, you have been wonderful. You have followed all rules of discipline, whether it was the government directives, school directives, or your own self-discipline. I wish all of you the very best, and we can look forward to a very positive future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Jagruti Singh, thanks a lot, ma'am, for all the information shared. We loved it. They're an IB coordinator. And Adhavan is one of your, I think, was IBDP student. Yeah, he said, thank you so much.
Very dynamic.
Yes, I know. That's amazing. And again, one more reminder, just to put your information on the form that's on the sticky note. Please don't forget, fire sale only on Saturday. It's from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. You don't want to miss out. Trust me, I have spoken to so many students who have loved it, who benefited it. I'm telling you, for those of you who are applying abroad, I'm sure one of the questions that's going to come up is, what were you doing during the pandemic? And this is such a great thing that you said, that you were exploring different careers, that you gave yourself this experience of doing this virtual internship. UGC came out saying, do virtual internships is very important. Okay, so go ahead and just put your information on that form. I'm just going to read out everyone saying thank you to you. Yashika says, thank you, Kalyani ma'am, and Sangeeta for your words of wisdom. Supriya says, thank you, ma'am, for your insightful session. They're all so happy. We want to have you back, and I so really hope that we can have you back, Ms. Patnaik. Thank you so much.
Probably we could have a panel discussion with some teachers and all that.
That would be amazing. Yes,
and get students also to be there.
I can organize something like that, and I'll get back to you.
These children, we need the children's perspective. We need the parents' views. We need everybody. That's how we partner. You have to partner. Collaboration is important.
That's right. That's
what we call the collaboration platform.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. We are so grateful to each one of you, and we hope to see you again soon. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a session actually on note-taking skills. So I hope a lot of you students will be here. Thank you once again, Ms. Patnaik. See you soon.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.